Welcome back, everyone. As they say, 11 times the charm, right? So
they say that.
Yeah, they say that. Some
says
people
that.
out there, someone said it. I said it just now. And Vitality, with that saying, manages to end a 10-map win streak from Team Heretics. We're all wondering, was it a good idea to let that one slip through? Well, turns out it was, but it was a close match, guys.
I just want everybody right now to in kind of imprint this in your minds as a core memory. Where were you when Team Heretics finally lost on Sunset? And I never would have guessed it would be against Team Vitality.
No, I don't think so, but we also knew that if Vitality were going to have a chance, it was the expectation of it being a potential two-mapper in this best of three, right? Of course, Icebox did slip away from them. We were kind of scared that it was going to maybe go to that overtime, and Heretics were going to take this in a 2-0 fashion, but it was insane. The adjustments, especially in that second half, Vitality looked so good.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see it, winning each other's map picks. Why not? Now, of course, Vitality, they just deployed, rather, their favorite strat. Save, go kill.
That's everyone's favorite strategy.
Honestly,
yeah.
it is.
He was outdoing the doer, like doing this against Mini Booz, Neon. And I've got a fun fact for you guys here because this is his 6th ace, and 5 of those aces he got in this stage. So he has really turned it up, and he's a player that just continuously had this kind of impact, turning unlosable, unwinnable even, rounds into a winnable one, which is what Mini Boo usually does.
Yeah, I mean, but you're also talking about, okay, your little fun fact there, right? But that also speaks to the fact that he's just been unleashed ever since swapping onto this duelist.
Yeah.
Safe looks so comfortable. It's made a huge difference. And in this head-to-head, you're talking about him outdoing the doer.
Yeah.
You're looking at the fact that it's also this mirror comp here on Sunset. The fact that Heretics have looked so good with it. They were the innovators with this composition. And the fact that Vitality, nearly 300 ACS there for Safe, is able to just go so strongly head-to-head, even though Safe was even losing on a lot of those first engagements.
It's crazy. I love to see that happening, especially as when we were looking at the first map, it was the story of Mini Booz Neon, right? So obviously, needless to say that Team Heretics not too happy. You could see it in the cameras that they were visibly frustrated.
Get stunned, classic headshot insta.
Can Benji stop saying he's whiffing, man? That's pissing me off.
Okay.
Damn!
I feel like
you
get to see that kind of reaction out of Neil.
Yeah, are we in trouble?
Honestly, it feels that way. Love Boo's angry dad energy too. Disappointed, even.
Yeah.
Very rough. It's rough out there. However, you know, spirits should be up now because we're looking at Bind as our decider map, and Bind, that's a good map for Team Heretics. Whereas on the other side, we haven't even seen Team Vitality play this map once this stage.
I mean, it's not as hefty of a win streak as they had on Sunset, but it's been 6 maps in a row that Heretics have been able to win on Bind, and that was ever since they swapped their composition, stole that 100 Thieves comp, and have been lights out since then. They're the best in our region on Bind, and for Vitality, we have not seen them on this map pick this stage whatsoever. This is going to be on them to bring some innovation through.
I'm trying to see kind of the leaks on the screens right now because I'm so interested in what Safe plays. Safe is the kind of player that's played a lot of agents in his career. He's played a lot of agents on this map as well. Out of the duelists, he's played the Jet, he's played the Raze as well. He's played the Phoenix. He's even played the Phoenix on Bind. I think the Raze makes the most sense, and I also think it also makes the most sense if you take a look at the rest of his teammates, what they can play to facilitate that, to be able to enable him as well. The last time he played a duelist on Bind was back on Team Liquid at Champs against Na'Vi back then. It was like 4 overtimes. He had a great performance. And also, this knock-on effect means, what is Runner going to play? Runner has not had the luxury that Safe has have a longevity of a career where he can just play whatever he wants at any moment his team asks for him. Runner's only played 4 agents before on this Bind, and none of them have been a Sentinel, unless you count Sage. And actually, I don't know how you feel, Ash, I wouldn't hate the Sage coming out here for Runner.
I wouldn't be too mad about it. It'll force him to play a little bit more with the team because I feel like we were lacking a little bit that impact in the first 2 maps on that Sentinel pick from Runner. On Sunset in particular, he was going for a lot of those mid lurks. It wasn't working out quite there for him. The timings were just a bit off. Team Heretics had great reads on those rotations, those flanks coming out from him. So I think just having the ability to also just play with his team a little bit more, just slow things down when you know Miniboo's gonna be so explosive on this map.
I think it's time to get funky. You have to.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there is no tape on a Vitality. They could pull out anything. And
Not the deadlock. I don't want to see that.
Honestly, I say it here, and I'm not gonna take it back. I like deadlock.
I have no issues with
Don't
deadlock.
play her anywhere.
But I just...
That's how much I like her.
I didn't like the way that they played with that deadlock last time. It just didn't work.
It didn't work. They had some cool set ideas with the deadlock and the Gecko in particular, with the wall, the Thrash coming out, just not denying some lanes where their opponents would be able to back out of. But when it was out of those set plays, that was where we were lacking a lot of that flexibility. There was a lack of that depth there. And I think that she makes it a much harder to kind of pivot the ideas that you're going to be throwing out here on Bind. But I don't know.
What funky thing do you want to see?
How do we feel about a double dive? How do we feel about, you know, a safe jet Runner raise? Because then Runner doesn't have to feel uncomfortable with having to shoehorn a Sentinel.
I'll raise you one. Instead of safe jet, we're going to do safe neon.
Yes.
Runner raise.
Do you know what?
I
like
that for that one.
I like that as well.
Yeah,
I like
they're
it.
likely going to run into a double duelist situation anyway against Team Heretics, who have been playing Gecko Race on this map previously. So, you know.
The Gecko is a good question. The Gecko is a good question because I feel like you have to on a map like Bind. You know, we're seeing teams move away from it at some of the other maps, but in the end of the day, the 100 Thieves / Heretics comp is definitively the best comp, but I don't think Vitality is going to run that.
No, I don't think so. It's not quite playing into their strengths, and then when you look over towards what we're seeing
me when I lied.
Yeah, it's just that mirror composition.
Yeah, it's super close. It's not quite the Brimstone. We get the Omen, but me when I lie, I did not expect them to run this comp that Heretics are going with. I quite like the fact that we're sticking with the Omen, and I really, really love the fact that Safe is going on to that race. But Runner, first time Viper on Bind too. Interesting.
I am a little bit worried about this, to be honest, especially with the fact that, I mean, the Viper nerf has been here for a hot minute, but it does make it a little bit more difficult, I think, to understand some of those timings, playing it for for the first time ever here for him. But I guess you also do have the fact that now Sender is also going to be able to maybe help set Safe up a little bit more with the paranoia, try and make up for that a little bit. But they won't have nearly as much for that post plant as we are going to be seeing Vitality on the attack first.
Do you think that there is a big opportunity here for Team Vitality since they have so much tape on Team Heretics on this map? On this particular composition as well.
I believe. They put the B in believe. Let's go.
All right, you heard it here first. We're ready for the action. Let's see which team is going to take this one home. And for all the action, we send it back to our casters, Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Yes, Team Heretics and Vitality gone to a third map. If you expected this, you probably thought the Vitality took Icebox, but they've beaten Heretics on Sunset. Now they move to Bind, where Heretics' win rate is only 90% from the stats we just pulled.
They've only won 6 times in a row rather than 10.
That's
so
good.
It's
That's great.
Not as good.
Fantastic.
And it's only been played once, I think this year, by the side of Vitality. Yeah. But that's the thing.
And it was a loss.
As has been proven by them already. They put the prep in, they put the work in. They're a team that can definitely come incredibly prepared to these matches. And also, I feel like just have like this almost natural synergy between them. They're going to kick things off over on that attack side.
Find you.
Already, Woot is going to be looking for that early information. He's under pressure. Sees. Already going through, and the wraparound from Rian as well. It was expected, already catching that opener for the side of Vitality.
Vitality with the advantage to work with, and after taking space and an orb, they'll wrap their way back around to the B side. At least for now, that seems to be the case. Moving to spawn, where they can up the pace, and it looks like it'll be a pretty wide open site. It's only Boo from Team Heretics waiting on this B side. He's on long and has the ability to get out of here by taking the teleporter. Now that he's crossed back, he'll be falling to the site and hoping they don't catch him from hookah. Some steps were heard, and there's the info. He's seen so many of them. The molly to slow them down. He's sticking around. I thought he would have went back to the site already. Instead, he's going to nestle his spot underneath inside Hookah. Oh, he's got a little gap in the wall. I love this. And he smoked himself off.
30 seconds left.
It's so ratty. The support util as well is even better from Woot. It's going to give them an opener back. The shot's not quite as nice from Miniboo though. But even still, 20 seconds left. The rest of the players ready and waiting. Woot's managed to hold the line at least a little bit longer. Benji finds another. This is somehow turning into their favor. But Wingman has managed to get that plant off. The spot of at least one of them as the swing comes out. And even though the ideas were good from Heretics, the round still goes Vitality's way.
Yeah, there were some great punish kills there with the utility, like you said. The fact that he grabs the information on long, mollies it off, and Boo goes back into Hookah, finds the spot. Reveal comes, I think, through the TP, and it's gorgeous. Problem is, they don't hit some of their shots. And I think it comes down to something as simple as that. There were opportunities here for big damage to be done, but individuals on the side of Vitality are able to win their duels. Boo getting out is great. They punish the player jumping out, but from there, it's just free reign. Able to constantly take duels without the punish. That's Vitality's pistol under their belt.
And in case you just joined us, two things. One, the HUD will be back soon. Two, this game is everything for Vitality. For Heretics, they're qualified. They are going to Champions. Nothing can change that from this point onwards. For Vitality, they need to win either this game or the game in the lower bracket. And I'm going to put it this way, it might be a little bit nicer to get it done first time. I think even when you look at form currently, like the Heretics have been winning their games, but they've been close. Whereas you look at the likes of Foot, they've looked incredible. Fnatic have been getting better and better with Hero as they go along, and I wouldn't like to play either of those teams. Whereas if they can get it done here and now, go into that upper bracket final and guarantee themselves a spot in Seoul, it'll be the first time the organization and a lot of the players have ever made it there.
They've taken space on A to start off their adventure, and it's a successful frag through the smoke onto Woot. Pistols for the most part in here for Heretics, well, indeed for all of the parts. Well, they've managed to find one onto Runner. He only had a ghost himself, so no free upgrades to be found. And with Rienz as the last man alive and very much known to be around this angle, it wasn't meant to be. 4 players alive for Vitality, a solid follow-up, and this makes them pretty well armed coming into round number 3 to fight Heretics full buy.
Yeah, it puts them in a decent position, that's for sure. Vitality have looked fantastic throughout this match. Winning the bonus set them up nicely. Obviously, as Sue mentioned, this is Runner's first time on Viper, so something we need to keep an eye on. But again, like he said it in a previous interview, he feels like the Sentinel is the easiest role. This is sort of the quasi-Sentinel controller, so we'll see if that's still the case. The Heretics already taking some pretty aggressive control, deep within the showers, but the challenge seems to be going elsewhere.
Ready for at least a late play by Vitality through that part of the map. I don't see too much outlaw in this map. From attackers specifically, you know, you can use it towards B long, try to grab the long range fights on A as well. If you're up in Hookah, there's some angles. It's not terrible. But a lot of the time you get sectioned off into these close range fights. Smoke's covering a lot of distance now, already crept into the corner here. They do not look aware of this at all. In fact, he's got his back turned with players on the other side. It's free for Center. Comes at the cost of Trex's life, but that is a trade that they are happy to take. 3 versus 2, and Woot on a sliver of health after the outlaw fight.
Worth it. That's the thing. I can only assume that
Spike planted.
I might just opt to fall back off of this one, especially with Thrash available. There almost needs to be a mistake, and let's be real, the mistake has already been made in this round. Trex might feel a little hard done by, but it was definitely worthwhile. And Woot is basically waiting to see if anybody gives him the face. Now, Boo, oh, don't tell me he's going to get away with it. Oh, thank God, somebody finally kills a man that should have been dead long, long ago. But even still, a hell of a lot for Boo still to do. The time already ticking down and not having the knowledge of where these players are. Going for it might be risky, but he's managed to find one of them quickly. Even still, getting the plant from here is not going to be possible. The nade will deny it, and Safe was just playing the game to make sure that it's denied. It will be a triple kill for Boo, but Vitality won't care.
No, 3-0 on the board. They're just watching the rounds rise as their lead is extended on further and further. For the side of Heretics, well, it's not the start they were looking for. Losing the pistol on this is utterly ridiculous. The fact that he is just sat, paranoia in hand, crouched in the corner. The freest kill of your life. And a beautiful double connection by Runner 2. Light shields and then into heavy. But he leaves Wood on 10 HP with almost no chance to survive. And, well, a headshot like that doesn't really take the HP into account. That's a 3-0 start. Safe 4-1. This is a factor of vitality. If we saw Safe slow down, have a rough start, map might be over. He has been such a big factor, especially on Sunset. And it's good to see the win in his sails early on. Now, a lot of weaknesses for Heretics in this round. One of the pistols is already dealt with. And Benji and Miniboo also have some light shields across the board too, which makes Runner a deadly threat. But Benji Fishy's quick to adjust. That's one! Make it two for Benji! His Sheriff is clean! Benji Fishy's 4K has put Heretics probably on the board! With 30 HP left, he's looking for the ace and, well, he's gonna have a chance for it. The shot fired doesn't land onto Trex, and he's sneaking ever closer to the angle. Here's your chance, Benji. Safe did it earlier, and now Benji Fishy matches an ace to put the first round up for Heretics.
He had to sit back down to retrieve the gun. He was celebrating so much he forgot that he only had a pistol in that round. An ace that, well, it's going to be difficult to forget for him, but also for the players over on the other side. As clean as can be for the first three, and well, a little bit of help from his friends in the end, but what a round.
That's beautiful. Just a quick switch. Oh, well. That's one way to put a round on the board. Said in the last map, just a few pistols for Heretics. You can't count them out. Got to fight for every round. And, well, certainly true here. There you go. The showstopper's gone past him. Benji, he's unkillable. I don't know his rank, but he seemed to be immortal. Eventually, he's dropped. Ascender lands the shot, deletes the pit, and grabs the plant for the squad. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Information definitely there. A lot of counter utility being expended, and in fact, Miniboo's going to make a play off of it. He wants to try and get back into this round. 2 kills already. The trade's thick and fast, keeping this one at least even for the moment, but retreating might be difficult. Runner is going to take a nasty tag, and there's nowhere to go but back into the fray. The spike down on the deck, and a crossfire that's not going to be easy to break. Miniboo has been fighting tooth and nail throughout this round, but he is waiting for the contact of his teammate Boo. And there should be no way out of this round. It would have to be an immediate response, and while it's not even going to be needed, Boo is going to find the frag. A thoughtful round by either side, but Heretics look like they're back.
Oh, they absolutely do. An ace from Benji. And then even after he goes down like that, a big response coming out of Miniboo. These 2 kills were gorgeous. Lands a third around the site seconds later. As they emerge from the smoke, they meet him. And Benji's got to be looking across at him like, it's not an ace. And yet a rifle.
It's not bad. It's not bad. An early pause again. This is something that has become a big part of Vitality with Gorilla at the helm, is just taking these pauses as early as needed. I don't think it comes down to how the rounds went. It doesn't come down to necessarily how many they lost. It's more so, does he feel in the moment that he can change what's going on within the team? And I imagine after losing a round like that to the Sheriff, again having advantages in this one, with Miniboo able to get back in, I believe, yeah, they also used their Nightfall. That was their Nightfall coming out as Miniboo runs into the site. So they've used a big ultimate to try and win themselves that round, and a thrash, and it's gone the wrong way in their eyes. So just stopping things as early as possible. And now the question will be as well is how much do you put into this round? Because those last couple didn't really cause too many problems for the economy of Heretics. You win a round with a pistol, you're going to pick up a load of guns, if you remember to do so. And so because of that, it's not even really worth investing much into this one, because the cost will be minimal unless you somehow steal the round.
Cover going out. Back in the game in Heretics fashion. Close to neck and neck, but a buy for Heretics and not much for Vitality. We should see things equalized. The space taken by Safe. even causing rotations. You can see Rien's making it to the spawn just now. He'll be reinforcing the A site, but it's only one man here, causing all this chaos and leaving B a little bit more open for the rest of the squad. Thrash might grab some info though. This could be valuable. In fact, it's cleared out the site at least, and with one player TPing, now they know where the play is coming in. Benji needs to be careful. They've only got pistols, and every kill matters in a round like this for Vitality. That could have been a retrieved rifle, but he's made it out and slowed the plant.
The rest of the team already in position as well.
Thrash back.
Thrash going to be sent out. So much info already there. It's actually caught Miniboo. That's a mistake. He was right in front of everyone, and because of that, there are guns to be had. He's almost hand-delivered one. In fact, into the hands of Safe. There's nobody worse that could have gone to. Viper's Pit also used. This is now a problematic scenario. Safe has already found another, but it comes down to an even scenario, a 2v2. The health going back up, but Sender's in a great position, and now it's left all on to Benji. There's going to be a pay save card, Thrifty, that gets another round for Vitality, but I also feel like that comes more at the hands of Heretics.
Yeah, they've got to be devastated. Rien's throwing the ult in. I think he even detained one. I can't even remember off the top of my head if it was the Viper, but it was a free kill if Miniboo hadn't been caught by it too. That one's got to hurt. And a pay safe card, Thrifty, given to Vitality in the back. I said that should have been an equalized, and it started out well. They grabbed, yeah, it was Runner as well that was detained by it. So a free kill that drops the pit and gets rid of most of the danger of this round. And instead a timing, a tiny adjustment a little bit later for Miniboo, and it's the free round. 4-2. Vitality. Well, they've had a couple of rounds by a narrow margin. That one there's got to feel good with Heretics tripping themselves up, but now a full buy from the defenders and a showstopper in Miniboo's hands. He might have been sold down the river in the last round, but now he's going to be sailing this ship for Heretics when it comes to retakes.
Ultimates, other than that, at a minimal. Again, the lean in a lot of these early rounds has been towards that B site. They've looked to challenge on that side of the map quite regularly, but after showing some presence on that side, instead it's going to be the rotation in the other direction. The thing they have to be wary of is how far forward Wook currently sits. Maybe not the best gun for the job, but he's denying the space, and in fact, they're going to try and wrap him behind him. They got to be careful here.
Well, they weren't. Brazenly swinging into the angle, and Safe is too happy to punish. Boo left the 36 is in trouble. Showstopper used. This is the round they want to fight for. The Showstopper not going to land, and the pressure applied right after from both sides. It's Safe to find each kill. All three have been him, one with a nade, and two with the rifle. And now we look to Rien's and Benji Fishy. 2 versus 5 on the retake. They're not feeling it. This isn't the time to make their last stand. Vitality have claimed another round. 5-2 in the lead. This should have been Heretics at least equalizing, and instead they're left in a position where their credits aren't going to be great for the next round. And Vitality really starting to build up an economy with this, presumably Andaluthia Flawed. With this 4 players left alive, so that's something.
Oh, you know, I don't know if it would have counted as a flawless anyway. There's people alive, right? I think it only counts if you have to kill them.
Yeah, it might be. Well, they're trying. They're certainly trying.
Oh, they actually cleared Benji within the edge of it as well. And Rien's, he's seconds away from his inevitable demise, but the time will save in this round at least. 5-2. Vitality off to a flyer, winning the bonus. A couple of seemingly blips on their radar, and then more importantly, this man is just going insane. We know the caliber that Safe brings to a team. We knew it at the time of his joining. We were waiting for him to get back on that duelist, back on the role where it truly feels like he can dominate opposition. Right now, he's 11-4.
You're seeing it on Team Heretics. Spirit's not so high. The round they found on the back of an ace. The big 3K for Miniboo for the next, and since then it's been quiet. This is the kind of game I expected to see, but the shoe's on the other foot. It was Heretics I expected to be locking Vitality out of so many of these engagements. And if you run it back earlier in the season, that's probably what you get.
The crazy thing as well is imagine coming into today, seeing Icebox as the first map go the way of Heretics, and then Vitality potentially breaking not 1, but 2 maps where they have had unbelievable streaks. As I said, it was 10-0 in matches, or 10 in a row for the side of Heretics on Sunset. 6 in a row here. If they were to break both of those in one match to qualify them for champions, hey, we might actually have to talk about what damage this team can do. Because that's the storyline at the moment is, okay, EMEA, yeah, sure. We expect stuff from Fnatic. We expect stuff from Heretics. Foot have looked good. But the fourth team, what are the fourth team going to do? Well, if the fourth team qualifies by beating Heretics, I think that will be a statement in itself. This round, plant down, 1 gun for Rians, everyone else just on pistols.
You might regret that, Tom. Benji was able to do it. Oh, kicks. He's gone.
Uh-oh.
He's in trouble. Chooses his own, so he keeps a bit more HP, but the trade is quick. Down to a 3 versus 3. Rians and Boo very low. The fuse already half. They've got to get out there. They've got to stop it. They do just that. Nice shot by Sender. Resets for the push behind him. And every step of the way here in that 3v3. Vitality, we're ready. 6 on the board. No upset. No pistol ace for Heretics this time. And in fact, there will be a pause with this lead going convincingly to Vitality. This is probably the right time.
Yeah, it's understandable. Like, there's no doubt that heading into that attack side can be a turning point for Heretics. We've seen it again. You talk about their victory versus Coin GX, 7-3 in the end to close out what was a solid defensive half, a 9-3 when they played it versus Na'Vi. So they could definitely do it. But it's just the fact that Vitality have proven time and time again that even if the going gets tough, even if rounds start going back the other way, they can break those rounds, and you need to give yourself enough wiggle room, because right now, you've got an ace and then a follow-up round after that, which again came incredibly close with Miniboo making a huge play. Other than that, everything else has gone the way of Vitality, and you're seeing those stars step up. Trex, one of the players brought in after kickoff, looking fantastic, safe, back in that superstar role. And while there hasn't been a quiet player throughout this series for the side of Vitality, 6-2 up. It still seems like a long road left, but realistically they are 7 rounds away from locking in champions. And I'll say it again, the first time ever for Vitality as an organization. A team that in the past, they were playing the VRLs before they were invited into the league system. It's been a long time since then.
Yeah, and I saw those head-to-heads. Vitality, in the one sense, they'd be breaking history by taking Sunset and Bind, by defeating Heretics. At the same time, though, they always win, don't they?
Yeah,
in the head-to-heads. They've never lost against this squad, playing them once a year since the inception of VALORANT. This time it's twice. Might be the same result. A big surprise to everybody involved, I have to tell you. If Vitality come in and say, we expected to win this game, I'll call them liars after seeing that veto, but, well, they might have something in it. Showstopper can't even find the kill. Runner's too quick with a wallbang headshot, and the site is theirs. Vitality taking it by storm. And there is a thrash for Rians. That kill's huge. Okay, equalizing the numbers and taking away the main smokes. Some are already down, but Thrash now going through, clearing out the back and finding one for free.
That's going to deny Rians. Annoyingly, he's actually the player that has themselves also with the ultimate online. So a counter Thrash, immediate, and that leaves Runner in trouble. But obviously Rians is a little bit worried there's another player there, and he was right. But he catches both with the flash. Leaves one blind for Woot to kill, kills the other himself. Now it's left to safe, but this time there is no hope. Woot will be there to shut him out as a 4v4 retake, or a 4v5 retake, in fact. Ends up, well, flawless in a different sense.
I don't know what was said during that pause, but it seems like Heretics definitely got themselves gathered to fight back into this. Again,
maybe Weber gave them another uwu or something like that. That would motivate me. Have you not seen the clip?
Yeah, no, I have. I'm just, that would motivate you, would it?
Definitely.
Okay. Well,
only from Weber, though.
We're gonna do nothing but win our rank games from now on.
I'll get him
in the coach slot.
To be honest, if we're
playing
Weber, we'll win.
We're sorted. We're out. The Diamond Ascendant lobbies are gonna be terrorized. But 6-3, Vitality. Well, they've got a good amount of rounds here on the attack. We know that, as you said earlier, Tom, the pace could definitely change.
Yeah.
Once Heretics move to the attack, you want to see a good buffer built up for this current attacking side, and they're spread. One man on every position across the map with who could double down on. They'll prod for some space. They're not intending to take it here. Not yet.
Flashed. Doesn't quite pop. Doesn't allow that information And just of the last possible tick of that Prowler, you're going to know that there's at least a couple of players here. Again, constant control of showers is a big part of things for Heretics. In fact, 3 players there this time to try and challenge versus Trex, but thus far in the game, he's done well. He's got to be careful. They might be a little bit further forward than he's expecting them to be. In fact, they're just running it straight down. He's taken so much damage, there is no escape. And this time, well, they like to combine with him to wrap around and surround the players. That can't happen.
Yeah, I think they realized once the Haunt got thrown through that he's just a lot closer and he can't get away. Content to force the fight. Nice reveal. Where's the follow? There it is. The shot lands eventually. And will lose his life on an ambitious play while blinded. But the rest of the squad still holding strong with Sender up top. He's got 2 players coming right at him. Not an easy fight to win and not one he'll claim. Safe now. Last man standing. Something makes me believe he can win that from what I've seen before. But not this time. Heretics, a well-oiled machine these last 2 rounds. It's 4 on the board and the gap is closing.
Yeah, I think the last couple of rounds we've seen them much more willing to give up control, but like claim it elsewhere. Like this is an aggressive stance, but you also saw it in the last round where they didn't try and recommit quickly and explosively stop them. They waited for them to get into afterplants and then fought back together. And again, that's where we've always given credit to this team, is that considering they're so young, in many cases inexperienced, they always seem to have that team synergy when it's put into play. I think the early rounds, they just weren't doing that. And also, I think Vitality were doing a really good job of disrupting them, like be it safe, catching players before they could get back together and group up. Even still, though, a good opportunity for a big mini boot. Oh, he's just been picked out of the sky. Trying to make more of a solo play. Basically the opposite of what I was saying about the last 2 rounds, and that's not the start they're looking for.
Not ideal. I think Rien's threw Dizzy up as well, but those players were too far back to get caught by it.
It might be because Trex has been playing solo outside of Ace.
Yeah,
often.
could be.
So they just went, okay, that guy's been showers like 3-4 rounds, let's just try and kill him, and instead there's 4 players waiting.
And if they were, again, grouped up a bit more to take that fight, they get hit by the Dizzy, yep, you're getting 2 kills probably.
True.
Saw how grouped up they were. But yeah, just the fact Vitality of so many players backed off, clear from the flash,
well,
it's a problem. And now the stack up from Heretics towards the A side after initial contact. They expect the play to come in. Viper walls up, causing problems. They could be crossing. They could be close, about to burst around the corner and take the fight against Boo. And now the utilities fall and they realize no one's here. Well, they're going to feel a little bit silly because the plant clearly focused on the B site.
You see from Vitality's perspective, this side could be stacked.
30 seconds left.
So they're still going to do their due diligence. Boo, though, again, it's him every time. Each time there's a spot where you go, okay, this is going to have to be a 4v5 retake. He finds a kill that's high impact, giving them a chance in a round that was looking bleak.
Yeah. Woot sending his utility through the TP to open the door. You have almost no time to react. The guy materializes and instantly is shooting at your head. Very hard to react to, and a good punish. Taking a player off the side of Vitality for the post plant, now split into 2 sides. You've got Long and you've got Elbow to deal with, and it's not easy. Safe falls after just 1 though in the plant. The defuse, in fact, already halfway. They've got to be careful, and indeed, there is a big swing from the side of Vitality, conscious that the defuse could be coming through any second, and they face into a lot of guns.
This has been really impressive. Like these last few rounds, even when there's been a loss, which has happened in most of them, they're fighting back 4v5, I think every single round except last.
There it is.
Yeah, the flash actually does catch Safe, it's just that he had support. That was it. They wanted to try and almost play off of that, but this is it. It's Boo getting 1 back, and then in the retakes, they've just been perfect. Rien's holding the line, Woot making sure nobody else can get out. Well, you wouldn't expect in each of these retakes, it's either been even or a disadvantage, and they're coming out on top with that many players standing.
Now starting to build up some momentum. The defenders, we said we wanted to see Vitality with a big lead. At least some foundations to play from. Hello! Safe's right up close. There could still be a chance. A 2-round gap and a pistol. Start to run away with it. Put up enough of a buffer that Heretics' attack side won't be quite as scary. With Woot down, with Mini Boot down, it looks like that's the reality we live in. Plant to be secured any second now. It's safe planting, and that's a showstopper online. One target left to find. Benji Fishy up against the world. Not just the 4 players, but the rocket launcher of safe that he's all too keen to use. Last round, he ain't going to be using it in the next, and, well, yeah.
No chance.
Pick your poison,
That's
a rocket or a
times.
sniper.
Both times he's used the showstopper. Runner has killed the guy before he gets to fire it. Just a little bit too quick, but he's not going to mind. A last round to at least cement them the lead, but as we've said many a time, going onto this attack side, you're talking about clean halves. Again, you look back the last, what, 6 times they've played this map. I think the most anybody has managed is 4 rounds. That was on the attack side. That was 100 Thieves. Since then, it's been two rounds versus their attack, 3 rounds for Na'Vi versus their attack, and 3 for Koi and GX as well. So they're going to have to, again, prove that this defensive side is solid for Vitality, that the work has been done elsewhere, but I don't even want to really dwell too much on those stats. We saw it in the last one. We're talking about a team on a 10-map win streak. It's irrelevant. They broke that. They beat it. Now going on to this half, sure. If they're still popping, if they're still feeling confident, they can easily close out this game.
Absolutely. For Vitality, it's going to carry a lot of weight here in this pistol, and that started out beautifully. Another nade for safe, but he won't get to fire it off. Luckily, Sender's already here. And although Boo drops him, he's got 2 more to deal with. Spike down in the open, and he's a little slow getting there. He didn't know the other players weren't on site, but now they most certainly are. Stacked up and ready with a Viper wall blocking him out. Thought he was going to go back, play around through hookah, but I think he probably has a better chance walking out along without having to make the jump.
This is the thing. Well, Trex has spotted an angle. It's probably the last man you want to be up against in these sort of positions. The most cerebral player when it comes to Team Heretics. They're trying to fight this one together, but he's not giving them a chance. Looking for some shots through the screen. Molotov just to make sure nobody snuck into the close corner. And well, the high-low is not going to be broken this time around. Lead extended for Vitality. Pistol not going in the direction of Heretics as they would have hoped. That is now both of them going the way of Vitality. And they now find themselves just 5 rounds away from making that trip to Seoul, joining the other 3 EMEA teams looking to fight for the region. But
nice.
As we've said already,
Nice.
until it's not over until it's over, and Heretics, well, they want to take that easy route to the grand final. It's where we expect them to be heading.
We still have a few questions left for Vitality once rifles come out from Heretics, but this round shouldn't be where there's major resistance. Not a single pistol invested into. All class 6, although Mini Boo's very close, and Sender close to death. He'll fall back. He'll fall back. Hello? He's stealthy, 5 HP. He'll fall back. No, he'll keep fighting. Now that he's got teammates behind him, that is honestly a little bit of a ludicrous play. And Trex, he doesn't even take the upgrade, goes in with the stinger. Vitality feeling confident, looking confident, and now 9 on the board.
It's definitely not even the ultimate that you really want to be farming up from the shadows of the lot that they have. It's definitely at the bottom, but hey, it's only going to be a stinger that ends up being lost and a few shields along the way. This, though, is where Vitality are coming up against the buy. It's where Heretics will have those rifles, full shields on every single player, and the expectation again is this is where the tide will turn, but we've been saying that for a while now. Said it on the previous map, saying it here, and again, it's a similar sort of deficit that they have to fight back against.
I'll say this as well. Mini Boo, you mentioned it earlier, he's been hypercritical of himself. You know, this is a guy right now that views himself as someone that should always be doing heavy lifting, should always be at the top. He had a 3K round in one of the first. He's got 5 kills right now. I mean, far be it from me to criticize him, but my goodness, the morale now has to be feeling low. I want to see him get around where he's activated, where he's finding a little bit more success and his confidence can go right back up high. For Rienz, well, it won't be his round to do that. He's been shut down by Runner with an opening pick, and Vitality, they've got themselves at least an advantage in numbers, but they still have a few nasty positions to root out. Mini Boo, inside of lamps, this could be his chance.
The fight between the fades, and Trex is so patient. Mini Boo is only going to manage the one, and now already that defusal has begun. Molotov is not going to stop it from getting it to half. In fact, I don't know if it's going to stop it at all. It's not. Eventually they kill off the wingman, but it's too little too late. That was way too clean for a round that had some weaker weapons in it. Vitality now 3 away.
Miniboo lands a couple of clean blows. That was it. He was isolated and had his chance, and he capitalized on it, but the rest of the fight's lost, and there's not much you can do about that. Can't put all the weight on one man's shoulders, unless I guess it's Benji Fishy with the Sheriff. 10-5.
Or safe.
Or, well, listen, I mean, safe is just a guarantee.
The exception that proves the rule.
The man seems to have no pressure on his shoulders.
I feel like this is the same as the last map.
No, it is, exactly. He was 20-9 on the dot, about this stage of the last map. Maybe even a little deeper.
As said, he's gunning for champions. Made it there with Liquid. Went out 0-4 in maps already. Sender under pressure from Miniboo, but again, he's going to survive. This man doesn't seem to fear the fight, but Safe has gone down. It was exactly the same in the last half, where they managed to win the bonus round and then ended up losing to a weaker purchase. This one definitely has a bit more in terms of investment, but even still, the advantage still sits with Vitality for now. Kicks, fighting, winning those battles. Has Sender alongside him, and they clean it up with relative ease. 2 rounds now as Vitality get closer and closer to Champions qualification.
I had a lot of questions for Vitality coming into this, and, well, it seems like I'm starting to run out. We're getting close to asking the last one. Morning or afternoon? Which flights would you prefer?
Well, the thing is, I know as well that Gorilla is probably going to watch back this demo and just be like, I know you didn't expect us to win Sunset and Bond.
Yeah,
well, of course we didn't. Of course we didn't.
You know what, though, I'll defend that. I'll defend, especially with the veto. You know, we came in today, you're like, there could be a bit of a fight. Heretics have looked a little shakier in some of their matches.
Yeah.
Vitality have looked good. They're heating up.
Not
you know,
these two
it's possible. Once the veto came out, we were all like, well, 2-0 or 2-1. Heretics are winning either way. Question is, do Vitality win Icebox? Vitality lose Icebox? Oh, well, it's going to be 2-0. Easy peasy. And then even then, even with Vitality winning Sunset, it's got to be 2-1. They'll take Bind. But Heretics now are using their last pause here on this map. 11-5 down. It might not be their last chance. If they start to make the comeback happen, they'll get to talk to their coaching staff when Vitality call a timeout, but this is the last time they can initiate it. And, well, they better be clean from this point forward. Coming into a round where Vitality have not just a showstopper, but Thrash too. What?
He's holding up the fan to his ears.
Oh. I guess the headset, he's sweating a little bit. It's worn today.
Basically, Neil was chatting like straight fire, and so he had to pull his ear downs afterwards.
God's sake. Well, I think the main thing, showstopper, off rip for Vitality. It looks like that's what's going to happen. Blast back immediately, and Safe is in. Seen this play before. Not as many players awaiting him, no. And Heretics have backed off completely. Space conceded. If he shoots this through the TP and kills one, I'm going to lose my mind.
I think it ran out before he could. Or at least fire at an angle that wouldn't just fire it directly into the corner. Trek's under pressure. Sees has caught. And not going to be able to leave. Not going to be able to get out of that smoke. That'll be one of the blast packs gone. However, Rientest still managed the opener. Kicks with a response. Looking for a little bit more, but they hold the line. The Boo brothers strong. A more runner. A little bit too far away from the action. Well, that snakebite might have delayed, but it definitely wouldn't have delayed it for a minute. Oh, the thing is, they've got the finances. He can try and risk it through, but it's not going to be anything. After the fire pause coming out from Neo Zenio, they do win themselves around, but the question is, do they have 5 more in them to equalize?
Well, that's it. Yeah, it is certainly a long road. We saw Heretics in a similar position on Sunset. They managed to make it close, got up to double digits, but Vitality had too much of a lead. And actually coming into this, you know, the fact that we only end up 7-5 at the half, and it could have been neck and neck, I still wasn't very confident, very wary of what Heretics can pull out on the attack, and we could still see those attacker rounds build up. But for Vitality, they have so many chances, so many credits as well. And sure, the showstopper was used in the last, and for Heretics, a lot of ults are coming very close to being online. Miniboo could even have showstopper of his own in this round. He certainly will for next. Well, Vitality, it's not quite the same story. Certainly not the same punchy ults that you'll have on the attack. Slow play. Waiting for Vitality's aggression, expecting them to go pushing up, but they did that last round because they had a showstopper. This time, much more passive face from this defensive side.
Maybe a bit wary. I don't think Miniboo actually collected the orb there. Didn't want to get isolated. We'll get one on the other side, and while the aggression fails, Trex somehow corrects his aim in time, and he's looking for a little bit more. 3 kills. Spike down, though. They're going to have the Thrash available. Rian's desperately trying to find a place to use it. Both going in. He might just get caught because of it, but Boo has also found a kill. It's going to be left onto the IGL as he tries to escape. Boo looking to hold the line, but he's just not in a position to do anything. He wants to try and play that post farm, but it will go to half. There's nothing he can do to deny that. And now with the time ticking away, 2 players still to find. They are just waiting for him to make a mistake, to make a move, and kicks too quick. 12 on the board for Vitality. 6 chances to confirm their flight.
6 chances to lock in Korea. What an unbelievable journey this has been for the Vitality squad. They've had their troubles. They've had their ups and downs, let me tell you. But to get to Korea through Heretics on Sunset and Bind? Nice! This is a team the international scene will be terrified of. 6 in a row for Heretics on the other hand. And it starts with a Viper's Pit and a showstopper. Good ultimates to have, but you can't even just expend them here. I mean, you can, but you might want to keep them for future rounds. It's a long road, and one that you have to be tempered with. So you use up all of this util, all of these abilities. Heretics on their way to B. Already a bit of aggression. It's Kicks and Sender waiting there on long. Oh, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble.
Immediate Nightfall. That's 1 player killed. Sender's still standing, but only for a second. Miniboo immediately looks to try and recharge that ult, picks up an orb, and the plant will come through. Trex already tagged up. This retake's not going to be easy.
Nice snake bite. Boo's forced into the corner. His HP is ticking down. He's down to 14 before he eventually leaves, conscious of a spam. Woot falls, and with Boo low, this could be very scary. In fact, Miniboo, he was decayed, but he's getting his HP back. A few points of it tipped off here. He's down to 6 and caught by Trex. Okay, with Boo low, this is getting very scary indeed. The IGL still able to put up one, and Rienz does his own work. It's safe, having to clutch this all the way, and Boo still survives, thrives in the late round. 5 more for Heretics.
It was a bold call to sit in that snake bite the entire time, assuming that it would be certain doom to try and make it out of there, while it was expected, had to make the move eventually, and he ends up being the most important player once again, top of the board for his side, alongside Rienz. There's still been a quieter day at the office for the likes of Wu. Someone with the highest of expectations after his performance at Masters and throughout the previous split. Even still though, many a chance, plenty of time for Vitality to just squeak out that 1 round, and well, to say that wasn't a close one would be a lie.
Immediate aggression through the TPs. It's Woot to catch Sender though. That has not worked. I think they might even have thrown a Paranoia through. At least it looked like they wanted to. Doesn't seem to matter. Heretics land the opening. Ready for the aggression, at least for a moment. But Safe might. Doesn't look like he's caught the timing. Benji's still watching and still peeking, and there's the info locked in. Viper's Pit used by Vitality. They'll try to send them towards the other side of the map, which is much lighter defended. And without any bathroom control, someone has to keep an eye on it. Be a 2-man setup on A, and a 2-man setup on B. They need to land their shots on the way through, or that Viper's Pit could secure the round for Heretics.
Even with the advantage, I wouldn't be overly surprised if we see the Nightfall expended by Woot. They just don't have the information to risk this one. Viper's Pit down. Or being used to try and just claim some of that space. Already though, the Mosh, well, the hope will be to deny it. It's going to slow them down a little bit. There goes that Nightfall. Information garnered, but they will be able to stop the plant. 20 seconds late. Safe is now the last line of defense on this site. He's trying his best to deny that plant, but the Viper's Pit should confirm it unless he has something crazy with the spam, and in fact, it's back the other way.
It looks now like that's enough. And Vitality are even conceding. Sending it to the other side of the map, but the weapons carrying them through. 6 in a row. Turns into 4 in a row for Team Heretics with this round victory.
It's the same again, isn't it? It's literally the same.
Yeah, exactly the same as Sunset. Question is, will the result be the same? Last time, Heretics got up to double digits before they eventually met their demise, before Vitality pulled a big round out. And again, players like Safe are still activated, still having his rounds. It's only a matter of time. At least it feels like that. Before Vitality will have that one that pulls it across the line. Nice shot by Boo. Big punish with runner left as the last man alive. And the credits are struggling on the defense. This might hurt their next buy, leave Heretics with a way right back in. And yeah, it was the paranoia at the very start of the round by Sender, but he didn't catch a player on his left.
Again, I've hyped up those Vitality pauses throughout this one. Gorilla and Comet again going to be given a chance to try and talk this one through. Financially, probably not the best time to be taking a risk. Sender, the only one with enough to really purchase into this round, and Safe could maybe get a pistol just as a bonus to try and play with. But it might just be even as simple as just quelling the nerves. You know what's on the line. For one of these teams, losing sends them into the lower bracket, and it is, okay, we're already qualified, move on with it tomorrow. For the other team, that sends you into an elimination match for your entire year. Like, that's the difference. The rest pretty much speaks for itself at this point. Vitality have set themselves up with 6 chances, 6 rolls of the dice to make it to the biggest event in VALORANT. For Safe to go back there as someone who's done so much in his career already, but with trophies being the main point of call for this man, and for the rest of the team to join him alongside and take Vitality to their first ever Champions tournament. A team, as said, that played through the VLRs in the past, wasn't a big part of the sort of Challengers landscape at the time. Now, though, they're right in the thick of it. But to say that Heretics are just going to go down without a fight, well, you'd have to be a fool.
4 in a row might seem like a lot, but this squad has managed bigger streaks of rounds than that many a time on this map. Miniboo, well, he's got that kill locked in with Safe down. Reveal is good. Trex is caught by a spam out from Rian's. Nice stuff. And they've got the information on Runner. Unlikely to see them push into that angle, knowing there's some weaknesses in play, or there should be, could be. It's left down to, I guess, Sender. He was the only one with a rifle. Just a shorty that's trapped, and they very much know where that player is from the utility a little bit earlier. Confirmed here. And okay, they do push into him, but just to tickle him up, get him into the open. 33 HP now. And any second, he'll be going down. Oh, I like that. Yeah, Snakebite worked. It was supposed to go a little bit deeper. Lands his kill for it, and then gets wall banged out. 9-12. 3 more for Heretics. Rifles for Vitality coming up next.
This is where the combo breaker came in before, although I believe at that point there was still a bit more wiggle room. That was the difference, is that we were in a spot where Heretics still had an extra round to play with. Not this time. They need to double what they've just achieved, but we are starting to see some of the players come back up. As I said, Wu have been quiet. He's starting to move up that board. I think Boo's been fantastic alongside Rien's. And Safe has slowed down a little bit. I was talking about him being 20 and 9. He's now 21 and 15. But as you said, it always feels like at any moment that man could just end the game.
Well, Thrash has got far. Thank you, Stimbeacon. And they will be able to retrieve it if they keep up that fight. Although I look at Rien's position, and I don't think he's involved in that. They just wanted to take the space with the ult, and now reset into the post plant. For Heretics, full control with their back completely sectioned off. All they have to do is look forward. Orbital strike in play for Boo as well. A big factor for this post plan. That's why he's gone back down on mid, and they're just harassing them on the way out, spamming through smokes, blast packing out. And now they keep this clock running down, knowing that they've got the abilities to stop the defuse and to make it even more difficult.
Miniboo's only goal was to buy as much time as humanly possible. Rien's are just spamming through the smoke. It's like it's not even there. 3 kills. There was a Molotov on the spike just in case there was any danger. But the only danger in this server right now is Rien's. Trex nowhere near the action, just trying to hold on to a gun. And what was a 6-round lead, 6 attempts, now comes down to 2.
I have to say, Rien's, I'm not sure what that one was. I don't know what you can do on the side of Vitality
That's
for a round like
kills
that.
were through smoke.
Insanity.
All of their kills were smoke kills, and then Trek saved.
When you do something like when you have a round like that, there is reamp that your opponents can do. Absolutely nothing. 2 chances now for Vitality to close this out. They had 6.
Yeah.
And it's starting to slip from their grasp. Showstopper Orbital Strike online for the attackers as well. Thrash for Vitality. And while Sander can rotate. This will be a devastating way to see this fall out of their hands if Heretics actually manage to fight their way back up, push to an OT and send Vitality down below, but there's a lot of room between here and there. Oh, look who's thread the needle. It's Runner up close. He's got one for his trouble. Traded out immediately.
Yeah, they've managed to hold on to some control. Miniboo's not expecting Trex. They'll keep that man advantage. Thrash being sent out. It will clear so much space, buy so much time back. And well, there goes the showstopper, but the player's already moved. A little bit of a waste in the end. It's cleared an angle, but bear in mind that orbital strike is still there. Bear in mind the guns are still not there on the other side, and we're still just that snake in the grass. It's left all on to Sender. Time ticking, Spike not halved, and they know exactly where he is. He's trying to bait someone into the fight. In fact, they are going to go check it, but at this stage, it should be too little too late. And even still, Benji will close it out. One more chance for Vitality to lock in champions. Otherwise, this might just slip out of their hands.
One more round, and what a play by Woot. He's been a little quieter, but he makes that wraparound, reading the space that was left open perfectly and capitalizing on all these players. In fact, if he did that a second earlier, they wouldn't have bothered wasting the orbital strike. They had a player to do all the work.
That's
that
why they didn't use it in the last round. It's because
Yeah.
Rians just did it a little bit quicker.
Well, you know, they might have expanded the ult, and indeed they won't have any ultimates to work with here, but that hasn't been the main factor of finding the success for Heretics. One more round, and overtime is guaranteed.
It's been a brawl. It's been a battle. Runner at least gets one. That's something to play with. Keeps things even for now, but it's going to be pressure put onto Kicks. Desperately trying to slow them down. Safe has gone running. He's trying to sprint in to help his teammate out, but Woot's going to ruin him with that shorty. Safe, as said, he was 20-9, now 21-17. He has gone quiet, deadly quiet for his standards. A rotation coming through, and they've got to try and find a way back in.
Yeah, 1-8 since that 20-9. It's not a pretty look. He was activated, but now shut down. So is Woot, though. Here we go. Team Heretics losing some players. Benji Fishy manages to answer back up on the Sender, but here, a big response from Vitality, leaving it on to Safe. He slowed down, but this could be his chance. The time is going to be a huge factor. Stepping in during the molly. Just one bullet needed, and there it is. Straight to the head by Boo. Heretics have come all the way back. 12-12, overtime locked in. And Vitality, with 6 chances to lock in Korea, have got to be devastated. But they've still got a chance to fight. It's not over yet.
No, but it almost feels like it might be. Dreams potentially being shattered. Heretics, the demons that will keep Vitality awake all night long. And that's the thing, this means everything to every member on the stage. But as said at that moment, if there was any point to doubt the ability of this Heretic side, it was that one, where everything is on the line for you, and well, I don't want to say nothing is on the line, but a lot less is on the line for them.
Oh, their reputation here on Bind. They've had 1 win streak taken away from them today, and they're looking for more. The studio's gone red. It's a pausa tecnica, as we will see the game resumed fairly shortly, but I'm imagining for both sides a welcome breath of fresh air. Fill the lungs, get that adrenaline down a little bit lower, although for Heretics, 6 in a row, moving back to the defensive side. It's anyone's game, but now we're starting to see everything line up for Heretics. It's going to be very difficult to stop them.
I don't know if he's looking at his monitor or across the stage, but if I saw that, it's like, the thing is, Boo is the nicest guy, but when he's staring across like that, it almost feels like a Bond villain. Like,
oh yeah,
you were expecting a victory. You thought wrong. And then he's just got his laser beams, like going towards whatever you like. The fact is...
Kind of works, he's an orbital strike.
True, true. But the thing is, he is someone that just seems to be never shaken at any point of a match. It's someone who, we look back to last year, and there's no doubt that people were calling into question his ability as a leader. The Heretics roster, and I don't want to be mean, but I will be, was horrible. Okay. Now, he's got 4 youngsters, and the expectation was, okay, he has to do something here, or this could be like him disappearing out. There's been many in-game leaders before that have had that exact same scenario happen. You get a couple of chances when it comes to your time as a leader. But the fact is, he is the calm within the storm. You've seen Benji every single time screaming his lungs out. Mini Boo emotionally up and down all the time. Boo clutches out a round to take them to overtime. Doesn't even crack a smile. And well, we're going seemingly back into this one very shortly. Overtime for Vitality. Sure, the game is not over, but you've just lost 6 rounds in a row from a point that literally any one of those would have taken you to Champions, taken you to Korea, and given you a chance to fight versus the best in the world. Even if they lose this series, that is still possible. But you will be thinking about this for many days to come.
The what-ifs will drive you mad. For Vitality, I can't imagine the emotional roller coaster they've just been on. Thinking about their flights being booked, and now, distant memory, they've got to fight for it yet again. The advantage no longer theirs. We're neck and neck. Heretics on the defense. It seems like they're working back as that well-oiled machine for Vitality. They'll need to show us that face. Orb taken by Kicks. Presumably, we're going to see a long wraparound to be long to fight for the extra orb there, to grab the plant, to have post-plant thrash. Very powerful strategy to bring in to the overtime. And it hasn't been taken, that orb. Not grabbed by Benji Fishy.
Not worth the risk.
Run around like this.
Much slower.
Oh, they're going back.
Stance for Vitality. And a much more passive one for Heretics. Think about how many times we saw them take over the showers and try and use that in the post-part. I do think that Heretics have just realized if we play retake, we win. Like, it's worked for them so many times. Boo, though, maybe taking the bait. He's going to go over a little bit earlier. That might actually be an additional smoke put down just to try and defend off in case they went towards Hookah. Instead, they're now making their move onto A.
Remember Jan's flash B long 10 seconds ago. They know now that there's no one there. It has to be the A hit. They're ready for it, but Woot's still the first to fall. Trex and Safe are answering up. Vitality needs some hope, and it looks like they're the ones to deliver it. Although the Molly takes down Safe, it's worth it. They've taken the space. Runner and Trex both low. The utility damage is pretty massive, and Heretics have thrived in these positions because of it. But without Mini Boo and without Woot, this is a big challenge for the squad. Man disadvantage, and shots need to hit.
Paranoia thrown through. 2 players here under pressure, and Riens has managed to level things up.
Both
Runner already tagged, same for Trex, and the time is going to be ticking. I assume he's going to retrieve the wingman, but there just isn't time. Already peeking out one by one, and they take those fights. They take the round. The combo breaker for Vitality, and once again, they have another match and series point.
Oh, they are back in the game. Vitality. If they lose this one, I actually don't have faith. If they lost the last one, I didn't have faith in them being able to bounce back into OT. After losing 6 rounds in a row, what would have been 7, and you go right back to that same position. But here, getting it done with Runner, 50 HP, with Trex on 26. They dig deep when they need it. One more, a solution on the defense. They had it. All those first couple defensive rounds, Heretics looked lost. They couldn't find space. They couldn't find picks. But now, well, their history is 6 in a row. Let's see if they can make it 7 on the attack and bring us to another overtime.
It's definitely the side where they've looked more confident. There's no doubt about it. Be it attack side rounds or playing their defense rounds as retakes, it kind of shows that they like taking the site and not so much holding on to it. Vitality, it just comes down to needing one. An idea to force them back and try and take the fight, but instead, it's a lot of utility used, and it's given them some information, but it can't really pull a rotation just yet. It's going to be on to Runner, straight away taking that fight, but he's only going to get the one.
It's close for Trex. Those bullets whiz past the head. We're still neck and neck, still equal. Sees through, doesn't land much. These players actually looking to fight. Team Heretics are upping the pace, trying to spam through that choke point. Already ahead of it was Safe, but he's tagged down low. A little bit of that is decay, and it will bring him right back. Sender, a little whiffy at the start, but he gets there with Trex up in heaven. It looks like Vitality might just be seconds away from closing this. They have to be careful of Riance. He wasn't cleared in the corner, and he manages to find one. The 1v1, the Thrash. Which way does he go? The right way, but a little bit shallow. Kicks is still ready to fight. The shot now going to be everything, and it's Kicks to land it. The shot that sends them to champs. The defuse will be found, and 14-12 on Sunset. On Bind, they've beaten Heretics.
It is a first time for many different things. For a lot of these players, their first time making it to Korea. And for the organization, the first time making it to Champions as well. For the side of Heretics, well, it's the first time in a while that they've lost on Sunset and on Bind. It was an uphill battle for the side of Vitality. And when they lost that many rounds in a row, the expectation was that it would slip away. But in the moments they needed it most, players stepped up. And well, credit has to be given across the board. New coaching staff, new roles, changes across the board for this team coming into Split 2. And well, let's say every single one of them has paid off. They will be the fourth team that represents EMEA over at Champions. And well, at this point, they can even challenge for a damn trophy because they've just taken down Heretics on their best damn maps.
10 win streak, 6 win streak. Both are broken here today. Many out there doubted Vitality, but that has to end now. This team is here to play, and on the international stage, you better watch out. Get up here, Comet. Get up here, squad, and take a bow. You've goddamn earned it.
You could see the emotions when the game was slipping away. You can see even more right now. I think we saw the talk from Gorilla that this was a bit of a quick fix. This was someone being thrown in to try and fix everything at the beginning of a second split. Someone who put in an incredible amount of work. They've changed the stuff behind the scenes, and let's put it this way, this guy took a lot of risks. Changing so many different roles, putting Runner onto the Sentinel. But by the way, that was his first ever map of Viper, just in case you're wondering. First ever map. And all of those risks have paid off in ways that I don't even think the management behind the scenes could ever imagine. We can ask Rob afterwards if he thought that was going to happen, if they were going to manage to make it to Champions after the previous split that they had.
Oh, you love to see it. This means so much.
And that is it. They are going to be making their way all the way over to Korea. A team that, as I said, last split, I think if you look at the score, they ended up finishing like a 10th or something within the league. Either way, we're going to get to hear from Sender down on the stage right now. Congratulations on Champions.
Thank you so much, guys. Once again, give it up for Team Vitality with this victory. You and the squad locked yourself in for champs. What is going through your mind right now? What are you thinking?
It's a long travel to Korea, so that's a little bit, but we have to do a lot of work as well to prepare.
I mean, honestly though, this was just such an intense match. It went on forever, but I do want to just hit on a few points there before I let you go and rest, because I know you need some rest after all of that.
A little bit, yeah.
Sender, this is not just the first time for the org to make it to champs, it's also for you personally. And you've been around the scene since the inception of competitive Valorant, basically. And it's been an up and down journey. What does this mean for you personally to be able to compete at champs?
It's just a very great opportunity to compete with my team at the greatest level right now, so I'm very thankful for them. For myself, I want to see and prove myself as an IGL as much as I can and see what we can do in champs.
Well, we'll find out very soon. You just said about improvement as an IGL. You know, we talk a lot about IGLs, the fragging IGLs. You always seem just the quiet type, going under the radar, but like you're a steady source for this team and always has been. What do you want to work on?
Just, I think, improving the confidence overall in the team so we don't struggle like last 6 rounds on bind. You know, like everyone had the adrenaline rush like 1 round away. So if I can calm as IGL in-game leader, like just a leader overall the team to calm down, just 1 more round, just, you know, like we don't have to stress it out. We just a little bit, we were so much stressing on the last 6 rounds. So improving on that, just
I mean, it was stressful. I think everyone would have been stressed. You just said something about confidence. You let Sunset slip through, arguably their best map. Everyone usually would ban it against them. You let it slip through and then also mirror the comp. That shows a lot of confidence. Was that the game plan coming in? Walk me through that.
The game plan on Sunset, let's say we steal their comp. We play a little bit by them, like copy what they did. But the thing is, it's a mirror comp and we know what they do, and that's the limitations of the comp, you know, like we stole some stuff from them. We saw what they did. We know the exact, we already prepare for what's coming, you know, how they play in B main. We have a plan for that instantly as well, you know, so. A little bit of copying, a little bit of our own sauce, and that's what we have.
And then looking at that last map, Binds, I mean, you took the lead. They're on it back. It was a nail-biter of a series. Were you worried at all heading into Bind? Because we've not seen you on this map so far this stage.
Let's say I was a bit worried on Bind, a little bit. But when we started strong on the Bind, I feel like it's just a casual map. Let's play it, you know, it's VALORANT. So going deeper into the map became stressful because we had the upper hand, let's say, but the beginning was fine, I would say. It wasn't so stressful.
It was fine, indeed. You locked it down, you took the dub. Is there anything you want to say to the fans who have supported you?
Obviously, yes. Thank you for the support. It's amazing to someone have it cheering. We kill somebody on the map and you hear the fans are cheering for you. It's not, you know, like silent or something, so it's very amazing feeling.
Well, it was amazing to watch you and the team. Thank you so much for taking the time. Now go and celebrate. And we're going to see you in Korea, but also, of course, still in the playoffs because you have a trophy to fight for now as well. We're heading into a quick break, and afterwards, we are back with the second semis of the day.
Nice. 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 Nice.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. But in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.